Imagine living your life after 50 and feeling energized and excited about your future. Welcome to the Women in the Middle podcast, the podcast for women who are ready to figure out what they want and create the life they deserve. Here's your host and Master Certified Life Coach, Susie Rosenstein.
Hey there, welcome back to the podcast, Women in the Middle. I'm your host, Susie Rosenstein, your Master Certified Coach and Midlife Mentor, and I'm so glad to be here with you again for this week's episode, which is all about 5 easy steps to amplify your passion in midlife. Now, I want to start right off the bat by clarifying that I'm not necessarily talking about sexual passion, although that could be one of the things that you're passionate about. I'm getting at things that you have a passion for, like that you can't imagine not having this thing in your life, right? Like you just love it so much. It's so much a part of who you are that you just can't imagine not having it in your life. No matter where you are or what you're doing, it's part of who you are at a really deep level. So like I said, being sexually passionate could be something you're passionate about, but that's not the real essence of today's episode. Like for me, it's everything about whale watching. That's what I'm passionate about. Sometimes people call this sort of thing a passion project. In midlife, focusing on what you're passionate about is really important. So that's what we're talking about today, amplifying that passion. But first, this episode is sponsored by Podcast Palooza. Woohoo! This is what's going on. The Women in the Middle podcast will soon be hitting the exciting milestone of 1 million downloads. Right now, as of me preparing this podcast, people from 88 countries around the world are listening, and 969,265 downloads have occurred. That's how many downloads. I can't believe it. Women in the Middle Podcast Palooza is an online celebration that you'll be invited to once we hit 1 million downloads. It's a Zoom party with games and prizes. You can sign up for the waitlist now at www.susierosenstein.com/party/. So just hit party at the end of the website with that extra / and you got it. www.susierosenstein.com/party/. And details about the party will be announced soon. But get on the wait list so you don't miss a thing. And if you want to help us get to 1 million downloads faster, please think about your favorite episode and share it with a midlife friend of yours who really needs some of this midlife goodness. You know, one of those episodes that really stuck in your mind. Maybe it was episode 178, a candid and humorous look at aging with Joan London. Or episode 6, the first time I invited you to take a look at your pathetic panty situation. That episode was called Underwear, Self-Care, and Midlife, and it was way back. Episode 6, that was in 2017. Or maybe the time I launched the Mentor mini-series when I interviewed Brooke Castillo, Susan Hyatt, Jenny Shee, and Kendrick Shope, and told each of these amazing women how they've been a mentor to me. And don't worry, I'll put all of these links in the show notes. Maybe it was the time I interviewed one of my kids about empty nest from his perspective. This was episode 43, Empty Nest from the Inside Out, interview with the kid who flew away. Super fun. That was when I was actually in the cedar closet. I'm out of the cedar closet now, but the two of us were in there. It was so funny. Now his drum set's in there. Or maybe it was the hilarious episode about being naked, afraid, and vulnerable in midlife, episode 169. Or the time I got stuck in the woods having to go to the bathroom in the pandemic and all the drama that ensued thereafter. I think you may recall there was an incident in the woods. Or maybe episode 200, Celebrating Friendships in Midlife, where I interviewed a group of girlfriends I've had for over 30 years. Oh my God, so many great episodes. And actually, this is something we're going to talk about at Podcast Palooza too. So please share your favorites with your friends and share the midlife goodness. And there's one more thing. The doors to the Women in the Middle Academy are open again. So if you're ready to find that amazing thing you're looking for and get moving forward, get unstuck, make sure to apply. It's simple. Just go to www.womeninthemiddleacademy.com, Sign up and let's hop on a momentum call and chat. It's a fun, free, no obligation Zoom call and an amazing way to take a baby step forward to getting unstuck. I can't wait to see your name in my calendar. Okay, now let's dive into today's topic, how to amplify your passion in midlife. Now, at first, you might be thinking, well, come on now, Susie, what is the big deal? Just spend more time on your passion. Well, my amazing friend, it turns out it's not that simple, and it's often a big deal for us midlife gals. I can't tell you how many women in the middle tell me they don't know what their passion or purpose is. Seriously, you may have caught yourself thinking that too. It's a topic I deal with all the time. I've talked about passion here and there in the podcast before, but I could tell there's more work to be done. So let's start talking a bit about what passion like this is, like a passion project. I'm going to read this right out of my book, 50 Ways to Celebrate Life After 50. Passion feels bigger than a hobby to me. It's not just something you're excited about. It's something that's easy for you to go all in on with complete heart, mind, body, and soul. It's your mission on purpose. You can't imagine it not being part of your life. You choose to be involved or not. Being involved is inspirational and enjoyable. So, at first glance, it would seem like we should all know what our passions are. But there's a problem. We're thinking about this in midlife at our age. We have a midlife lens on our world, on our experiences, on our perspective. And what happens is that women in the middle like you, like me, we aren't used to putting ourselves first. And you know that. You're quite comfortable putting everyone else first. All of those needs go way ahead of your own. And you've been doing this for decades. And you actually become out of practice of putting your own needs first. That's part of the problem. But wait, there's more. Putting yourself first and what you think is important, like your passion, becomes really foreign to you. So much so that it might actually feel uncomfortable or maybe selfish or indulgent. Right? Like you're just not comfortable focusing on what you love, what you like, and what you want. And here's the other reason. In midlife, it's so common to be looking for more, to want more. And this whole passion thing ends up feeling elusive. It's kind of like you're trying too hard to find this magical, mystical thing that you want so badly that you know would make you happier. You wish you had it in your life. More passion would be the more that you're searching for. Here's the thing, though. It might be right under your nose and is based on something that's consistently brought you immense joy. Or it might be closely related to something that you've always gotten a ton of joy from. The thing I want to talk to you about today is how to dig deeper and stop making this all so difficult. That's what I mean by Amplify. I came up with 5 easy steps to help you in this important area. Amplifying your passion is lighting it up, making it bigger, giving it more prominence, charging it fully, not keeping it small and hidden off to the side and in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. You know that. Your passion should be loud and proud if you would let it. So here are the 5 easy steps to amplify your passion in midlife. Step number 1, decrease confusion and embrace. Just declare your passion already and just start with declaring it to yourself. And if you don't know what it is, please download this fun little worksheet I created called Passion Project for You. Go to www.susierosenstein.com/Passion Project 50, and that will help you get started. Listen, it is super common to actually regret not allowing yourself to be happier by doing things just like this. So allow yourself to stop being confused by this. Just declare it. Embrace your passion, whatever that means to you. Step number 2, be curious. You have to be super curious about your passion and ask yourself way more questions about how you can enjoy it more, do it more, dive deeper. If you think you know what it is but aren't sure, start with looking at something you love and expand from there. Embrace what you love. Like for me, whale watching. Now let's expand it. How could I amplify my love of whale watching? Well, I could learn more about whales. I could take a course. I also love nature photography and pride myself on knowing whale behavior enough to take amazing Photos. I could get a new lens. I could learn more about improving my photography in those conditions. I could take a photography course about this specific thing. I could visit museums with special exhibits and travel to great places to do so. I could go on a special trip that combines whales and photography. I could join a club or a meetup or hang with other people who love whales. I love to make things with beads and wire. I could look at creating art related to whales. I could create whale-related drawings from calligraphy and mindful doodling that I love to do. I could combine these things as well, right? Let's look at another one, gardening. So if you're passionate about gardening, great. How could you be more curious about amplifying it, going deeper, making it more in your life? You could take a course. You could make travel-based plans around gardens that you want to see or experiences that you want to have. You could volunteer. You could lead talks, walks, and techniques. You could do all that stuff related to gardening or botanical gardens. You could join a club. You could learn new gardening skills. You could get into hydroponics. You could develop your knowledge around a type of plant, like orchids. You could collect hosta varieties. You could create a butterfly garden. You could write a cookbook based on recipes from what comes out of your garden. You could start a YouTube channel. You could develop a special potion to get dirt out from under your nails. I would love that. Get the point? So many ideas of how to amplify when you're curious. And so on and so on and Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. So be curious about amplification. Step number 3, give yourself permission. Oh boy, this is a really important one. Give yourself permission for passion. Seriously, it has to be a step because I know what happens. It can feel indulgent to focus on your passion, to spend time, money, and resources on your passions. But you have to give yourself permission or your passion will be all tainted with guilt. Now, that's not very nice, is it? Do you want to beat yourself up when you're supposed to be really enjoying and amplifying doing what you love? Notice your resistance to all of this. Watch those thoughts. Catch them. Write them down. Study them. Ask yourself if you like your reasons for pulling back like this. Remember that regret about not allowing yourself to be happy? It makes sense. Look at all the ways you hold yourself back. It's also so common to regret not being authentically you. You know this. You can see when other people are getting sucked into that. When you're all up in your passion project, believe you me, you're being authentically you. You're in flow. Oh my God, it was so much fun to just say, believe you me. I don't know why that popped out. I haven't said it in years, but I think my grandma used to say it, believe you me. Anyway, you get the point. I'm giving you permission to give yourself permission. Now you get to decide what you think about this. And that thought will be telling because it will create how you feel and what you do next. So let's review. Step number 1, decrease confusion and embrace. Step number 2, be curious. Step number 3, give yourself permission. Okay, step number 4, everyone's favorite, plan in advance. Here we go. When it comes to anything, one of the best ways to increase the likelihood that you will do something is if you plan in advance. You just can't expect important stuff to happen. You'll be waiting around and wasting valuable time not doing the stuff that you love. You have to plan in advance, even if you like to be spontaneous. I hear you, but come on, you gotta plan. If you're resistant to planning, you'll probably be resistant to planning in other parts of your life too. So you know this about yourself, but really think about it. It's a skill that will help you. Put thought into how you can make it happen, what you need to put into place to move that dial of having more passion in your life forward. You got to plan. And step number 5, you got to commit to your plan. Yes, my friend, you have to commit to your plan. Again, if you don't, it's not likely to happen. You can have a great plan, but if you're all not committed to it, it's just not going to happen. You have to be serious about what you want in your life. Think about it that way. You have to be serious. This is your life. It doesn't even feel like you should have to commit to doing something you're passionate about, but I know you. For all the reasons we've been talking about, you just have to. You just have to. So take it seriously. This is your life, and you need to be intentional about it, or decades will fly by and you won't be doing the things that you really care about, the things that you really want to do. making the difference that you want to make, experiencing life on your terms. That's what we're talking about. And that's what I have for you today. 5 easy steps to amplify passion in midlife. I've given you permission and lots of ideas and context to do more of this amazing stuff that you care so much about. Now, my friend, it's up to you. Okay, that's it for this episode. As you know, my focus as your midlife coach is to help you get unstuck, clear, and excited about your life again. As midlife women, so often we feel it in our gut. We're meant for more. I bet you feel this way too. You have something big in you, but you just don't know exactly what it is or how to get there. If you want to figure this out fast and have way more fun getting there, there's no better mechanism, no better way to move forward like this than with a community of people just like you, a community of women just like you. I would love to be able to help you find that thing that you know you have inside of you. You have that core thing, something big, and I want to invite you to check out the Women in the Middle Academy. It's a 6-month coaching program where you get all the support you need to apply what you're learning here in the podcast, but more importantly, you get clarity and excitement in your life again. Don't waste another second feeling stuck. Book your momentum call and we'll have a quick chat. Head over to www.womeninthemiddleacademy.com. For show notes and links and info about how to download your free gift, 12 obvious signs that you're ready for an exciting change, go to www.susierosenstein.com and click on the podcast tab to find the information about this episode. You can also go directly to www.susierosenstein.com/12 signs to download your free gift there. Let's do this, ladies. It's time for you to put yourself first, one thought at a time. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.